On the Insider's hot seat, talking freely about migration.
We're focusing on the NOM in its true form.
G'day Patriots, Colsey here. A big part of One Nation's brand is cutting migration. Defend our Aussie culture, stop the flood. Then their newest MP, David Farley, goes on the ABC's Insiders program and says that One Nation's migration numbers aren't that much different to Labor's. Cue the scramble, let's break it down. Here's what Farley said. He claimed that One Nation's 130,000 NOM, Net Overseas Migration number, aged care nurses, skilled workers, backpackers, and those that would add at least another 100,000. Total, around 230,000. Pretty close to Labor's projected 225,000.
On the Insider's hot seat, talking freely about migration.
We're focusing on the NOM in its true form.
A form of net overseas migration, David Farley says it doesn't include tens of thousands of in-demand workers like aged care nurses, engineers and Pacific workers on the PALM scheme.
You're saying it needs to be 130,000 NOM plus about 100,000 more.
Yeah, at a minimum.
Admitting that when you add that up, it gets pretty close to Labor's policy.
The raw number's not too different.
Currently, net overseas migration is about 300,000 people a year, but according to the budget papers, the government expects that to drop to 225,000 by 2028.
I'm not sure what campaign One Nation's going to run on migration if they're effectively backing in what the Albanese government is doing.
Pauline Hanson didn't wait. Hours later, she posted clarifying, One Nation's policy is to cut net overseas migration to 130,000. which is less than half of Labor's current level. Cuts from international students, temporary graduates, and a more focused, skilled program.
By lunchtime, Pauline Hanson had taken to social media, insisting One Nation's policy is to cut net overseas migration to 130,000, and their target is less than half Labor's current level.
Next day, Barnaby Joyce was on Sunrise, cleaning it up hard.
So Barnaby, Pauline says it's 130,000. David Farley says it's 130,000 plus another 100. Which is it?
Well, it's 130 net. We've been saying that all along. It's 130 net. If you're in Australia for 12 months or less out of 16, and a lot of visa holders are, that's not included in the NOM. So, but that's, when no one's arguing about palm workers. But it is not, it is 130,000. We've been saying it all along. It's 130,000, it's 130,000, it's 130,000 net overseas migration. And sometimes, things like NOM, it's an acronym, you've got to get it right. It's a bit like the TIL-GT, which is a trillion in Labor government debt. That's another number you just can't get wrong. A trillion in Labor government debt is a very important number.
Okay, so the permanent migration, what would that be?
Well, the permanent migration, what we have is within that 130,000 is that is your net overseas migration. So if there's permanent migration, it fits within that number. That's why it's called the net.
Look, rookie mistakes happen, but this is One Nation's signature issue. Australians who are sick of the housing crisis, overcrowded hospitals, the culture clashes, and strained services need more crystal clear numbers. Not true NOM plus everything else. Labor is still running high migration. The coalition under Angus Taylor is now talking well below 200,000 and linking it to actual housing construction. One Nation's strength has always been that hard 130k line that puts Australia first. If we're serious about defending Aussie culture and giving our kids a chance of owning a house and having decent services, the number has to be real, consistent and low enough to give the country a chance to catch its breath. What do you think? Is 130,000 the number that puts Australia first? Or do you think we need even lower than that? Drop it in the comments. If you value these chats that actually defend our culture, hit like, subscribe and share it with a mate who's had enough. God bless Australia. See you next time. Cheers.